Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Jones, and if you're new here, welcome. I like to talk about all things movies, specifically Blu-rays, and it is really cold outside. Hence my attire. I also just came home from work, and I was able to get my Vinegar Syndrome sale order, my Black Friday order in the mail. So I'm going to be showing that to you as along with another big box set that came in yesterday, actually. And I am so excited to talk about it. So let's actually talk about Vinegar Syndrome first, and then we'll get to the box set. So Vinegar Syndrome, this is a label that I am not super familiar with as much as a lot of maybe people who are watching this right now are. I actually buy a lot more from their partner labels. That's kind of more my speed, but there are a lot of really cool and interesting films in this label, and then within the partner labels too. And each year I get excited during the halfway to Black Friday sales and the Black Friday sales that are coming up. And so, of course, I tuned in, took some advice from some friends, and I got my order. So let's look at it right here. All right, here it is. There's that lovely tape right there. And I got a few titles here. In fact, it's still wrapped up here. So let's actually just open this up. I think I have 9 titles this year. Yeah, I got 9 titles. We'll just go from when I have in front of me first. All right, so let's start off with a Vinegar Syndrome title, and this is a really sick edition right here. I believe this is a 4K. So I got this 4K of Ticks right here. I was pulling this out and pulling out the slipcover as well. Scary film, but I've been wanting to get this for a second. I definitely had this on my list at the halfway to Black Friday sale, but did not pull the trigger. So super excited to own Ticks on 4K. This is a really cool edition. I always love that Vinegar Syndrome puts out some really amazing packaging, and I'm sure this is just echoing something that a lot of people already know, but Ticks is a fun monster movie that I'm super excited to check out and just have it's a silly time with, honestly. Next are a lot of titles that I don't know too much about, but just based on the descriptions from other people, this is something that was interesting to me, and that's why these came up. The first one I want to talk about is from Gunpowder and Sky, which is one of the partner labels here, and that is Villains. And so I was actually able to watch the trailer on this film, and it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like kind of a Bonnie and Clyde type of film of sorts. It looks pretty new. It's got Bill Skarsgård in it, along with Micah Monroe, Blake Baumgartner, Jeffrey Donovan, and Kyra Sedgwick. And this is a film by Robert Olson and Dan Burke, probably. But yeah, this looks really like a lot of fun. This only came out a few years ago in 2019, but yeah. A Bonnie and Clyde-esque type film, obviously very modern compared to that. So excited for Villains. Next is a classic in the partner labels, and I believe this just maybe has gotten because I know that the slipcovers kind of sell out really quickly. I think this just during the Black Friday got more slipcovers. At least I think. This is from Fun City Editions, which is one of the labels that I really like from Vinegar Syndrome. And that is the Coca-Cola Kid. I was finally able to pick this one up. I really adore the packaging on this one, especially. This one, I don't know why I didn't get it at the halfway to Black Friday sale, but, here we are now. This film came out in 1985, and I really don't necessarily know too much about this film, but it looks like a really fun comedy, and I'm just really excited to check this one out. And who doesn't love a good 80s comedy? So even if it's something that I don't know what's going to be, right? I'm sure people already have seen this one. All right, so next is one of the newer films in the collection from Vinegar Syndrome, and this is starring Ringo Lam, Lamb. I hope I'm saying it correctly, and that is Burning Paradise right here. And Burning Paradise looks like a martial arts film, and I'm already sold, right? If it's martial arts, this is one that caught my eye. This is on the front page of right here. So this film is from 1994 and looks like a really fantastic and fun film, a martial arts film. It looks like an epic right here. So yeah, but always down for more martial arts films. So did anyone pick this one up? I would be curious to know what your thoughts are. Let's jump into more limited editions real quick. I got one from the Vinegar Syndrome label, another one. This one actually has a limited edition of 5,000. So I got 822. I don't know if you can see that. 822, and that is The Grave right here. This was a high recommendation from my friend Ryan at Disconnected, yeah, I had to pick this one up. But like, this is really cool. I love when things come out like this. Like this is great packaging right here. But yeah, that's the film right there. Looks like a really fun 1990s kind of horror film here. So we'll see how this one stacks up alongside the others. And then the next film I have here is directed by Lynn Ramsey, which I'm super excited about. I love Lynn Ramsey's work, and so that's the reason I picked it up, is because of the director. And this is from Fun City Editions as well. And this is a Morvern collar right here. Really great cover there. And there is the film itself. So this actually came out in 2002. I believe this is actually one of her first films. Don't quote me on that, but I'm super excited about it because, like I said, the director is the one that sold me on this. And then I have 3 more films, and these are just normal editions. I did not get the slip covers on these ones because I think some of them have been out for quite some time. The first one I'll talk about is one that kind of jokingly was recommended to me, but I've heard really fun things about it. It's from 1980, and it is a Deadline. Right? It looks like a really fun horror film. And for people who I think screenwrite into or just like being an author in general, it just looks like a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm gonna check that film out. And speaking of horror films, one that has been on my list for a while and recommended by 2 of my buddies is the film from 1985, and that is Cemetery of Terror. Very excited about getting out, checking this film out. I guess this is the directing debut of Ruben Galindo Jr., who has done a couple of other things on the label, which I'll check this out, and then I'll see what I think. And then the last film I want to talk about in my haul from Vinegar Syndrome, from the Black Friday sale, is from Factory 25, and it is a TV movie by Graham Mason, and that is Inspector Ike, which looks like a really fun film from, 2020 is when this came out. Parody Murder of the Mysteries. So I guess this is a pretty recent film, but it looks like it is trying to showcase that type of film from the 70s. So looks like a really fun parody. I've heard really good things about this. So yeah, these were my recommendations for the Vinegar Syndrome sale. I'm really excited about these films, and I'm just gonna have to just keep watching more and more things. But yeah, this is a great haul, and I want to say thank you to everyone who kind of gave me a lot of these as recommendations, but also at the same time, I would love to know in the comment section down below, what did you pick up for the Vinegar Syndrome sale? I would love to know if there's any recommendations based on the things that I showed you that you think I would enjoy. All right, so now let's move on to the big box set. All right, so the big box set that came in the mail is this amazing deal that I was able to get on Amazon, and I'm sure a lot of you also saw this deal. I think it's still relatively good on Amazon. I think that it rose up a little bit in price, but it's still great for 11 4Ks, right? And I'm talking about the Sony Pictures Classic 30 years anniversary box set. Oh my gosh, this thing is amazing. I already opened it. Here is the films itself with all the information, but how this opens up, it's really cool. I love how this box set is set up. So there's all the films on the front, and it kind of goes around and shows you all the films right there with their poster art. But what happens here is what you do is you open this up and you get all the films inside right here. So let's talk about the films inside here. Let's put that down. Let's go to order of how it's kind of set up. But the 30th anniversary of Sony Pictures Classic, which I've always been a huge fan of Sony Pictures Classic. That's actually stuff I used to hunt for all the time in physical media stores. Like if I saw the Sony Pictures Classic little spine right here on the side, I would automatically be like, I'm really curious about this film, and I'm probably going to pick it up. And a lot of these films, actually 5 of them, are films that I already had But I'm like, you know what? It's time to update this and get a lot of films I haven't seen for the first time. And speaking of that, let's talk about a film that I haven't seen for a long time, or ever, and that is Orlando on 4K. And I really love how these slipcovers are very unique to this, because, you know, normally this is not what you would get typically. You'd probably just typically get the film itself with the Sony Pictures Classic, but I really love the design of this. I think there was a lot of love put into this box set, and so I'm super excited about this. I've heard mixed things about Orlando, but I'm really curious. It's been on my list for a while. I know the Blu-ray is out of print, so it's hard to find. Super excited about that one. That's the first film in this box set. The next one I want to talk about right here is The Celluloid Closet, which is also a very interesting film. Just with a bunch of actors and actresses. I really don't know much about this film, but it looks like a ton of fun. This film came out in 1995, and it looks like it is... The Celluloid Closet does for Hollywood homosexuality, as the exuberant, eye-opening movie serves up a dazzling 100-year history of the role of gay men and lesbians on the silver screen. So it looks like almost like a documentary, but it also looks like, you know, I guess a fiction blended with it. I don't know. So it looks like a lot of fun, but Celluloid Closet looks like a really fun time. Another film that I'm very curious to check out and watch. Next is a film that I have owned in my collection, but I haven't seen yet. But now I have the 4K edition of it, and that is The City of Lost Children, which has Ron Perlman in it, and is looks like an insanely batshit crazy film. This looks almost like Del Toro-esque, right? These are the types of films that would come across from this. Very like kind of fantasy fiction meets reality in a way, because it's really just kind of dealing with a lot of things going on in reality to mask some kind of trauma. So that's what it looks like to me, but I don't necessarily know. Next film I want to talk about is one that a lot of people are really buzzing about having a 4K release, and that is SLC Punk. I actually have never seen this film. I remember hearing about it years and years ago, but I don't know anything about this one. But this one looks like a lot of fun. Matthew Lillard right here, of course, and of course in the scene that I'm adjacent to, right, growing up, and there is the cover, and this right there. That is the fourth film in this box set. The next one is one of my favorite films in this box set. It's incredible. I highly recommend people checking this film out, and that is Run, Lola, Run. This is an amazing film. This is definitely, I think, one of the best films from, Tom Twyker and company. And so, but yeah, this is a really, really great film. Really great update on here. Really curious to check out kind of what it looks like in 4K. Next is a film that is probably, I would say, the most well-known film in this box set, at least in my opinion, I think. And that is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Wow. I never expected me to have this. I never expected to own this on 4K. So super curious to check this out. Love, love, love this film. I've seen it only a few times in my life, but obviously it's super iconic. Super, acrobatic, and the martial arts showcased in this from Michelle Yeoh, Zhang Yi, I probably said that incorrectly, and then Chow Yun-fat, of course, our main characters in here. But it looks like a lot of fun. Of course, I mentioned martial arts earlier. Of course, there is that iconic picture right there, that poster from the film itself. Super excited about that as well. Checking that out on 4K. Next film we have here is another really fantastic film, one of Del Toro's best films right here, and that is The Devil's Backbone, which I have on Criterion as well, but super excellent addition to have on 4K. I never expected it to come out on 4K like this, right? Of course, there is the theatrical cover right there. It looks different from, obviously, the Criterion edition. Really great, fantastic film. I was mentioning City of Lost Children earlier, another Del Toro kind of homage, I suppose. I'm going to stop talking about that one. Next is a film that I have not seen by Pedro Almodovar, and that is starring Penelope Cruz, and that is Volver. I really don't know much about this one, but I've heard really great things about this. I've heard this is actually one of Penelope Cruz's best performances, so I'm super excited to check this one out, and love that cover. Love it to death, actually. So more Pedro Almodovar, I'm in. Next is a film that is an insane one. It's probably the most insane film in this entire box set, and it is directed by Charlie Kaufman. I cannot talk today. A long day at work, and that is Synecdoche, New York. This is definitely, out of all the films in here, probably the hardest one to watch. It's like a puzzle. It's like watching a puzzle. There's a lot of things going about it. There's a lot of really tender moments. A lot of it's a very emotional film, and but I definitely recommend people check it out, because it is really well made and really well thought out. And I need to revisit it. I haven't seen it in some years now, but it is definitely a film worth seeing, I think. There is the cover. I remember that cover. Used to have that edition. And then we have two more films. One is one that I had, but I haven't seen yet, and that is starring Julianne Moore, Alec Baldwin, and Kristen Stewart, and that is Still Alice. Really love that cover right there. I'm just really loving that there are alternative covers on these slipcovers. That's what I like, because obviously you'll have the cover of the film itself right there, which I used to have the Blu-ray of this and several of other films that we're talking about. But seeing that alternative cover just shows you how much attention in this box set it's getting. And then the last film in this list, and probably one of my favorite films of all time, it's definitely in my top 100 films of all time. Speaking of top 100, go check out the recent poll from Sight and Sound, the BFI. I actually just recently did a video on it. Really enjoyed talking about that, and there's more to come on that soon. And anyway, talking about some of our favorite films, I want to talk about Luca Guadagnino's Call Me By Your Name right here, which is an incredible film, and I highly recommend people check this one out. There is that cover, which I love that cover. And yeah, I'm super excited to own this on 4K. And then the other thing that adds towards the 11 films itself comes with this 30-year booklet right here. This pretty actually great glossy paper right here, and it shows you all the films itself. Kind of gives you like a rundown of the films itself. Plus, I think it gives you a good history of the Sony Pictures Classic line, and that's where this essay comes in. Classic in a Class of Its Own by David Thompson, and it kind of just tells you about the history of where it's come and gone. And then it'll tell you, a little bit about each film. There's Orlando at the start. Skip around to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Devil's Backbone. Just skipping around to the end right here, Still Alice and Call Me By Your Name at the end. And then at the very end, which is really dope as well, is every film that is in the Sony Pictures Classic lineup. And going through that, I'm probably just going to want to buy more. Which I really hope that they do another version of this sometime. I know this is the 30th anniversary, and it looks like it's a one-of kind of deal, but it looks like an incredible box set. And I know a lot of my friends who are kind of hesitant. They just kind of want a few films in this box set, and I completely understand that. I got this for a very good deal on Amazon, like I was saying. I think it's still dang worth it on Amazon right now to check out and buy. But yeah, this is an incredible box set, and I'm super ecstatic to check it out and to support Sony Pictures Classic, because like I said, it's definitely one of my favorite kind of adjacent to a studio. It isn't a studio, but it's like adjacent. It's art house cinema, and I love art house cinema, and this box set is incredible. So pleased with it. This and my Vinegar Syndrome stuff. This has been a really great day. And anyway, I'm really curious to know if any of you picked this box set up or are curious about picking it up. I would love to know your thoughts on it. But anyway, thank you so much for giving this video your attention. Thank you for watching. Comment down below, share, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and I will see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.